Hello there everyone and welcome to PS4, and I'm here in Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Edition PS4. There's been a number of patches and updates, massive ones. If you look at my Facebook page, you'll see that one of them took nearly 60 hours to load. I had to do a bit of jiggery-pokery with it to get it to work, but actually it is looking a little bit more shiny than it did to begin with. But what I wanted to talk about particularly today is the leveling up process. So I have just leveled this character up. Here he is. His name is Greco Lizard Lips, and there he is, handsome fella. So leveling up. Leveling up happens as you'd expect from completing quests and getting experience points, and that will then level you up, and you can then get into this menu, which is on the skills and level up menu on the side, and you get to choose first somewhere to put a point. So it's very much like Skyrim if you played it. When you level up, you get an opportunity to increase magicka, health, or stamina. This guy is a tank. He's going to be hitting stuff with very close range with big weapons and very little defense. So I'm going to pop a little thing into health there. So it's increased my health by plus 122. If I put it into magicka, that would be plus 111, stamina 111. So there we go. That goes into health, and I just press X to ready myself. Now, every time you level up, you get one skill point. There are a number of ways to get skill points. The most common is for you to level up, but you can also get skill points for certain quests, so certain of the story quests, some of the guild quests as well, like the Fighters Guild or the Mages Guild. And if you see at the top right, so you got points 1, you got my ability bar, and you got sky shards 2 out of 3. Well, sky shards are these massive crystals that appear throughout the world. For every 3 that you collect, you get an additional skill point as well. And there are 327 sky shards throughout the world, so 3 at a time. That gives you 107 skill points you can get from sky shards if you can find them all. But I'm going to talk now about the leveling up process. So as with Skyrim, basically you level up as you use abilities. So I've got this guy, he's gone as a warrior essentially, so he hits things hard. Each of the classes will have 3 main skill trees. So I have Ardent Flame, Draconic Power, and Earthen Heart. So those are the skills that are unique to that particular class. Then you have weapons, so two-handed, one-handed shield, dual-wield bow, destruction, restoration, staff. You can see here I'm level 6 with two-handed. The reason for that is I use a two-handed blade, which means my two-handed levels up. I haven't used one-hand and shield, I haven't dual-wield bow, destruction staff, or restoration staff, so I have no points in there. The nice thing is that if you are a mage, but you want to hit stuff with a big sword, you can be a mage that hits stuff with a big sword because the big sword levels up as you go through. So there's quite a lot of customization available within your build. We've also got armor, so you've got light, medium, heavy armor. Light armor is for mages, medium armor is for rogues, and heavy armor is for tanks. Now I've got a lot of heavy armor on, so I am now leveling up heavy. There's also things like soul magic. I've got the Fighters Guild. I'm a member of the Undaunted. I've got racial traits. I've got Argonian skills there. And also there's all of the crafting elements as well, each of which can be upgraded. So I'll show you how it works. So Ardent Flame I've got to level 10. And the more levels you've got on Ardent Flame, the more of these skills will unlock. So at the moment I've got Empowering Chain, which is a bit like Scorpion for Mortal Kombat to kind of get over here. I've got Searing Strike, which is a flame attack. So that's instant and it will bring an enemy to me, good for pulling enemies out of groups. We've got Searing Strike, which is an attack that sets fire and does damage over time. So I've opened those up. Fiery Breath, I can access Fiery Breath at level 20. So once my Ardent Flame gets to level 20, I can then access Fiery Breath. There are also passive. So these are active skills that you use to hit stuff with. Then you have passive skills. So increase the damage of flame abilities, burning effect by 33%. So I can potentially put a point in there in flame. And I probably will because I like flame attacks. I like fire. So I probably will do an awful lot of Ardent Flame because there is Fiery Breath, Lava Whip, and Inferno. So I'd imagine this guy's going to be built around hitting stuff with fire. Draconic Power also has the same things here. So what you have is at the top is you have a kind of an uber skill. So that's unlocked at Draconic Power 12. Dragon Leap, instant enemy 20 meters. Launch yourself at an enemy dealing 845 physical damage to all enemies in the area and knocking them back. So it's a great way to get amongst a group of people quickly and do some damage with them. Those are activated by pressing L1 and L2 at the same time, and you can only have one ultimate ability active at any one time. And each of these skills, Ardent Flame for instance, has Dragonite Standard, and Earthen Heart has Magma Armor. Awesome. You also get the same with your weapons. So I'm using two-handed weapons. So I've got Cleave, instant cone effect 7 meters in front of me, so I can put a point in there. I've got Critical Charge, which launch across the earth and smash an enemy for 311 physical damage, always causing a critical strike, which is quite cool. Like the idea of that. And Cleave is spot enemies in front of you with a mighty swing, dealing 231 physical damage and causing them to bleed for an additional 285 physical damage. Now, I'm probably going to put a point into Cleave because I don't want an ability that sends me towards enemies, because I've already got a chain that brings enemies to me. And they also have their own passive skills as well. So the ability to upgrade and customize your build is fantastic. So we've got heavy armor here, and again we've got an immovable at armor 22. That is an uber skill. And then we've got resolve. I've already put a point in there, so you get extra armor for every piece of heavy armor equipped. Constitution, what's that? Health recovery, so that increases your health recovery. You'll find that light armor is about magicka recovery, medium armor is about stamina recovery, and heavy armor is about health recovery. And I've got all of these things I can go into as well. Amphibious, increase your swimming speed by 50%, and whenever you drink a potion you restore for 2% of your maximum health, magicka and stamina. Nice. Might have a look at that. Now, there's another thing you can do as well. Each of your abilities, once they get to level 4, see if I can find one. Spiked armor, level 4. You can see here. The spiked armor has got those 3 little points next to them. Can you see that? Right next to spiked armor 4, you've got a kind of 3 little dots in an upward arrow. That means you can morph this ability. So what that means that each of the abilities can be upgraded. So if I hit the morph button, if I hit X on that spiked armor, it'll give me 2 alternatives. So I've got hardened armor, and hardened armor, release your inner dragon to gain major resolve and major ward, increasing armor and spell resistance by 480 for 20 seconds. Not bad, particularly if you're going to do any kind of tanking. Volatile armor deals area damage on activation. Release your inner dragon to deal 450 magic damage on nearby enemies over 10 seconds. You also gain major resolve, major ward, increasing armor and spell resistance by 480 for 20 seconds, while active armor returns 85 magic damage to melee attackers. Right. Actually, I might put volatile armor in there. Fantastic. So if I put a point into there, I have now morphed that skill into volatile armor. I go back to level 1 and it will update. And each level I get, it will do more damage and more stuff. So that is essentially how you level up within Skyrim. There aren't very many active skills. You can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 active skills and one of the uber skills. I mean, this is a console-centric game, so we don't want tons and tons of buttons to press, really, because we just don't have the capacity to do it. The upgrade allows you to really decide how you want to build. So if I choose never to use Earthen Heart skills, they will never level up. If I don't use Draconic Power, if I just do Ardent Flame skills, they will level up really, really quickly, and I can get that sorted. Or I can use 3 areas equally and be a nice balanced build. You know, the weapons, at level 15 you open up an additional weapon, so I'll probably go two-handed and perhaps bow. Or maybe even a restoration staff, because then I can heal myself better. So I can swap at level 15 between 2 different weapons as well. I'm currently got a rogue, which is a dual wield, and when he gets to level 15, I will be building him into a bowman. So I can start picking people off from a distance, and when they get close, I can smack him in the teeth. So it gives you that kind of fabulous customization. Also, within the crafting menu, if you choose to look at alchemy, again, you have got passive abilities that unlock for your crafting abilities as well. I will probably get into blacksmithing for this guy because he will be using heavy weapons, which I can make through blacksmithing. And I'll probably have a look at alchemy, because judging by his racial build, if I put some points into that, I'll get some additional benefit. So that really is the leveling up process in Elder Scrolls. It's simple, but it's deep. If you just want to plow through and build a particular set of skill or particular skill, you can do. If you want to be a little bit more diverse and build a really bespoke and interesting character, you can do. The process is simple, but the depth that sits behind it is actually surprisingly good. MMOs generally just have level up and you get new abilities and you can do nothing. This one allows you to level up and choose how your character progresses. So, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to show you my volatile shield. It's quite cool. Watch this. Woof! Look at that. Nice. Spiky. Ha 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 ha. So that is leveling up in Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Edition for the PS4. I hope you've enjoyed this video. As always, like and subscribe, and please feel free to share this video on any social network you feel you want to. And as always, happy gaming, and I will catch you next time. Bye bye for now.